Hi, vinyl community. It's Martin here. I hope you are all doing well. This is coming up in a minute. It's a VCLT video. I won't say who it is yet. A couple of weeks ago, went to sell at a record fair. Shock horror. Had a good time. Didn't make a huge amount of money, but the general atmosphere and camaraderie with the other sellers and stuff is always good. And often I just end up swapping things with them. So I will just show you what I got. I can't remember what I swapped them for, but I've got about 5 things I think here. First thing, this is it is a wedding present, but this is Ukrainian's Ukrainian CD. It's a 10-inch. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, I hope you weren't listening to that on headphones. Oh dear, I'm just going to leave that in. I don't really care. So yeah, it's like songs done by the wedding present in the style of Ukrainian music. I obviously don't, well not obviously, but I don't actually speak or understand Russian, but I did play it, and a couple, or certainly one song I did know, which was, I think it was Those Were the Days, I think. I don't know why I'm looking at the label, because I won't be able to translate it, so here's another swap. I got big band Beatles songs with some, well, I mean, for the cover, and I notice it is in the record price guide. Hello to Shane, if you're watching this. You did say that it was. Another Beatles related thing. I hope that hasn't given away the clue as to the VCLT. But if it hasn't, then that is a clue. This is a film which I had some time ago on VHS and never got round to watching it because I didn't have anything to play it on. And so I've never seen the Ruttles ever, but now I've got the record. Here is sci-fi sound effects with sound effects and noises from Blake Seven, Doctor Who, and Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. All, I think, performed by people from the BBC Radiophonic Workshop. And I think it had their name somewhere, did it not? Or maybe it didn't. Well, anyway, this is what it looks like. And for those of you who are curious, or I mean, in the UK, this is quite a familiar label. There is the BBC label, the British Broadcasting Corporation. I guess they must have made quite a lot of money then. I don't know. This album I got. The only people who might know about this would maybe be German people. It was actually supposed to be a bit proggy and whatnot. I actually got it, or noticed it, because of the cover. Somebody called Eric Brower, and as you see, it folds into a triptych, I suppose you could say. There. A lovely artistic cover there. And here is the guy here looking a little bit like a totally stoned Dave Grohl. The music, though, it wasn't really psych. I think this is like an Austrian pressing of it. It just wasn't. I will go back and give it another listen, but as with some things, I just give them a quick blast, and it was more sort of. It wasn't quite Park music, but it was certainly more normal sort of. It was the sort of music that would only come out of Germany. I mean that in the nicest possible way. Diana's watching. Maybe you could or somebody else that would know what it is exactly. Who was he and whatnot. But I mean, I'm almost thinking this would be quite nicely put in a photo frame. Actually, it's so colourful. So that was that, and that was the record fair. Another thing that I've got, apparently the vinyl pressings of this weren't very good. I bypassed this album. I saw it on CD in Tesco's. That's a supermarket in UK. Yeah, I just bypassed it and thought, oh, and sorry to say I bypassed it because of the reviews it got. But a couple of months ago, I went onto the old YouTube, and there was a whole video of this, the Florence and the Machine, their third proper studio album, and they've done like a film to it also. I advise, if you're curious about film and music and or their third album, but it's, I would say, a darn good album. Not so well, I would say produced differently to their last album. You know, it's still got those strong drums in it. It's still got her singing very personal lyrics. But it was a case of I bypassed it because of the reviews, and when I listened to it, was very pleasantly surprised. So that is just a CD copy of it that I got off the internet. Right, okay, so that was 7 minutes of waffle. Now for the VCLT, which appears to be from somebody called Griffiths, a name which I sometimes struggle saying. So I'm going to cut open. I know there's a record in here and a CD because I can feel it. I'll cut it that way, and it hasn't opened. Maybe I should have just taken the brown parcel tape off, really. But so James does lots of great videos about all sorts of things, and he's a very interactive sort of guy, and we've had many chats, interactions on Facebook, and okay, maybe it's not a CD, maybe it's a DVD. I'm just going to pick out the DVD and see what it is. Aha! Happy freaking Christmas, Family Guy. Thank you, James. So, happy Christmas to you and everybody else. Whether I will do another video before then, I don't know. Here is a note, I think. And it's a proper letter. Can you believe it? With his address and everything. Proper letter there. Look at that. So I will have to read that later, like what everybody says. And I hope I wasn't supposed to read the letter first, but I haven't. So I'm almost wondering. I have one inkling of what it might be, and I will say whether I'm right. This trusty knife here. Look at that. This is a martini knife, a Finnish knife for cutting things. So I have to say also it was Finnish Independence Day last Wednesday, their centenary. So hyvin itsenäisyyspäivä kaikille, which is probably not pronounced very well. But so why do we have to use knives to open things? I don't know. So yeah, so James with his collection of knives. He probably hasn't got this one, has he? But I got my name put on it as well. So if there's ever a murder done with this knife, I'm going to be a suspect. The tension mounts. I can see the spine. It's hiding in there. God, he really done a good job on this. So yeah, James does a lot of things about the Beatles. In fact, he has a separate Beatles channel. I don't recognise it yet. And I think the thing I like about his videos are that it's the person, the things that he's talking about on them. You know, because we all relate to that, and we all pretty much sort of grew up with like, by the way now, we pretty much all grew up with music, even if we didn't have a lot of it then. So it is. I still don't recognise it. It looks. Okay. It's the gospel sound. So I wondered, was it going to be something by the Motors? So because I've done like sort of, I can't even remember whether I've got my CD knocking about here. Here is a copy of it here. Yeah, because I've done this. There's a picture of me being Larry on the cover. Because I've done this, I'm guessing maybe he sent it for me to make something of it. So this is the gospel sound, and it is a double album. And there's a lot to read on it, as you can see. Staple singers are on here, as is Mahalia Jackson, Golden Gate Jubilee Quartet, all sorts of things. I'm presuming, yeah, old as well, like going right back to sort of 1920s and right up to 1960s as well. Ira Tucker and the Dixie Hummingbirds, the Abyssinian Baptist Gospel Choir. Stalin wasn't stalling. 1942. Yeah, I think this will be very interesting, James. It's a nice cover as well. Sort of like, well, maybe not unlike my cover, I don't know, but it's sort of a hodgepodge of things all stuck together there, almost like a collage is the word I'm looking for. And I'll just show you a record of it. It's CBS Columbia. I guess that is American. So James, you've set me a challenge now. You know, I've had a few ideas of things that I want to do next regarding that. So as we sort of come into the 13-minute mark, I want to say thank you for that. Thank you for your videos, your friendship, and to everybody new that subscribes to me, and everybody old, or people that have been knocking around for a few years. And if I've commented on your videos, thank you for like writing back and stuff as well. Yeah, so I will end there, itch my nose, sniff a bit, and I will talk to you all again soon. Happy Christmas if I don't before then. Okay, bye.